Hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa and I am your cruise director on the Magical Mystery Tour. Are we up to day 17 today? Don't even know the numbers anymore. It is a Natasha Denona palette lucky dip. Before we get to that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell to be alerted to any new uploads, and if you like this video at the end, please give it a big thumbs up. Let's go see what we're playing in. Let's see what we've got today. We have the bronze palette. So, I'll go get that. I might take my towel off my head. I don't know how many people sit here doing their makeup for YouTube with a hair turban on, hair towel on, like I do all the time, but that's a reality. Most mornings I let my hair air dry. It's not often I will stick the hairdryer on it just for my hair health because, well, it hasn't been great the last few years. It's menopause, thinned out, fallen out, all of that jazz. So that's why you see me doing this, because I have a choice. I can either film for you or I can sort my hair out and not film every day of the week. I mean, I don't film every day of the week. At the moment I do, but anyway, you know what I mean. We have the bronze palette. This is all caramelly, bronzy, rusty goodness in here. A little bit of depth in there. What I will say with this is that you don't get, obviously, I mean, let's cover that. Let's just cover that. You don't get a huge amount of variety in this palette. It is gorgeous. Any look that you create with this is going to end up looking really nice, but it's not a huge amount of depth. So this is another one of those palettes that maybe you don't need this size palette with, that you could end up using the mini bronze. Going in with this shade here. That being said, I've had this palette for a long time. It was one of my first purchases. It's been out for such a long time now. It was one of my first purchases from Natasha Denona. It was a colour story that I liked and that I knew I wouldn't have too much trouble with. Like, I felt safe in it. And I think that's what you could say if you like warm colours. This is a palette you can feel safe with if you don't have a desire to do a huge variety of looks and just a smidgen difference, like a few different options for your colours. So all through the crease and 3/4 of the way up that TV screen. Going in now, we'll go in with this orangey colour and tuck that in. Just heard Jelly there. This dog, I love her so much, but having a few problems with her. I need to book her into the vets to get her seen to. I think she's suffering, well, one, she's overweight, so she's eating, just go back and forth there. She's eating, but I've been overfeeding her, I know that. She's essentially put herself on a diet in that she's cut herself down to 1 meal a day. Like she was having breakfast and dinner, and sometimes it's 1 meal every 2 days. She does get some snacks and treats in there, but there's that. So she needs to go and have her annual checkup and her vaccinations in any case. But she's also, it's like she's suffering anxiety because I've been working from home now. She has literally become like a part of me. She's just around the corner here, just outside the door. If I shut the door, she would be pressed right against it. She likes to be no more than a metre away from me at any given time of the day. And I mean any given time. When I move, she moves. And that's come obviously from me being at home. I don't know how she's going to be next time I go away for work. Once I am back on the road, out and about with appointments, I think it's going to affect her. Going next to that into this warmer brown now. So I don't know. She's not particularly interested in getting any food from my husband. Like everything's got to come from me. I am going away next month for a week, so which is probably not a bad thing. Like, my husband will be home. I'm going away with my sister, and she will be left on her own during the day, so she's going to have to deal with it. But it's starting to become an issue. I was about to say I go to the toilet, she comes with. She's always done that. If I go and sit down, she's waiting to jump up on me. If I go and sit at the dining table, she's at my feet. If I go and lay on she's right there all the time. And it doesn't bother me, other than I'm worried about what it means for her, like where her head's at. Because our other dog that we had that passed away a year ago, one of the vet checks, he had said at that stage that she had anxiety because she was essentially obsessed with me, and he'd said to me that I needed to start looking at leaving the house and going out without her and not acknowledging her and doing all of this stuff, which was really hard. Okay, so that's where we're at now. We've got those 3 shades. I just need to... So yeah, that's where we're at with little Gel Bell. Don't know how dark I want to go, because that's a bit too dark for where I want to be today. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to dip into that, but I'm also going to dip into that. And that sort of made it more a walnut. It's darkened that a little bit more, but it's taken away like some of the depth in that black. Okay, and I don't want to go, I don't know if you've noticed the last week, I'm trying not to go quite so intense in depth. I'm just very aware that at the moment that I've been filming these during, well, today I've got a really big meeting, like a really important meeting, presentation that I'm doing, so I don't want to be over the top. Like, I'm really pleased I didn't have pastels come today, because that probably wasn't really appropriate for work. So just working that. Oh, lawnmower's just started up. So as I said, you're not going to get a huge amount of variety in your shades. These are some of the shimmers. So you can see, well, that's obviously quite dark, but there's not a huge amount of difference in amongst them. Okay, so I'm just going to go in. This is where the fingers come in. I'm just going to go in with that and just dab that a little bit on the outer corner. Not to the point of necessarily seeing it. The reason that I do it is that it marries everything together. Going in now with this bottom shimmer and pulling that across. The only thing that I really wish, like, I really like the looks that come from this. What I do wish that it had, and I think it's the same complaint that everyone else has, and if you've got this, you'll probably know, is that it doesn't have a super light shade for inner corner. And I would like that in an ideal world. Grabbing this shade here, which is probably the lightest shade, and even then you're going to see it's not an intense shade. It's not particularly light either, but it is what it is. I've just used a little bit of eyeliner in my waterline, just a soft medium brown. Going in now with what I used on that outer corner to just line on the mascara on the lash line. It's going a lot heavier on one eye than the other. And I'm going to buff that out now. Go into this shade here. I've just got a bullet brush because it's a bit more precise. What that does is allow you to keep it closer to your lash line when doing it. Just trying to soften that a little bit before I go in. That's because it's a creamed powder, it's making it a bit harder. Now I want to lighten that up a little bit. I don't want it quite that dark. Okay, I've cleaned off this brush. By the way, these brushes that you see that are really long and skinny with, I think they all have a little bit of a goldy sort of handle. These are Glam by Manicare from Chemist Warehouse. I get them. They have a few different sets. There's a duo set and a quad set. I really like them. Okay, going into this lightest shade now. I like them for their precision. They're a nice lightweight brush, which I actually quite like. And I like the shape of the barrel, how it tapers down to really thin. It sits really nicely in my hand, and it means that I can hold it right down at the end quite comfortably. I just like the shape of the brushes. They work really well for me. Okay, so that's where we're at with the eye. So it is just a really nice warm bronzy look. I am going to go and do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final look. We have a really warm bronzy colour. As I said with this, you're not going to get a huge amount of variety in the looks. Like every look, unless you're going in hard with these sort of down here at the bottom, every look's going to look pretty similar. It's a monochromatic palette at the end of the day, but it does give you a really nice, I like it. I like it. Do I think it's worth spending the money on this as opposed to the bronze palette? That's entirely up to you. Like, if this color story is your absolute jam, then yes it is. But if you just are happy with a really quick look, then maybe the mini palette. I will insert the mini palette as the recommended video here. But until next time, my friends, don't forget to tell your mum, tell your sister, tell your friends, come along, subscribe, hang out, tell me a bit about yourself. Until next time, take care. Bye.